Okay. Sit back or stand or recline in a comfortable position. And let's start by taking our 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. And we are bringing our awareness to this time and to this place so that the information we receive will be beneficial, so that we will be able to see the connection when it's needed, to apply it to what we need to know. Inhale, following the breath in through your nose, down the back of your throat, down through the chest and into the diaphragm. And exhale, long and slow, through nose or mouth, letting the body settle in and relax. And one more time, inhale, opening up awareness, and exhale. General rune reading for day 5. Okay, the first thing I'd actually like to show you is that as I was pulling the runes, this one, I hope I'm in the right spot, fell out of the bag. So that means the thing we mostly need to know. What it is again, Wunja reversed. That seems to have been coming up a lot in the last readings. And to me, that tends to mean that, okay, Wunjo is the family. It is the people that you gather with, the big celebrations, the big things that one celebrates every year and considers it a family or friends event. So just recently we had Halloween. Which parties did you go to? Which parties did you go to because you wanted to, because you were celebrating with the friends or with the family? Having that sense of camaraderie and gathering and belonging. And which did you go to out of a sense of obligation or just to see what was going on? The people that you share your big events with, they are the clan that Wunjo talks about. So having it fall out of the bag again tends to reiterate that the clan is not necessarily going to be in evidence today. They are not the ones perhaps where your wisdom or your support or this event is coming from or has come from. When things happen to us, when big things happen to us, or even the little things that you just want to talk to somebody about, one tends to think of family and friends first. And so maybe this Wunjo falling out of the bag is saying it's not really related to the clan right now. It's related to something else. And maybe outside information or a little more personal introspection or talking to a stranger on the street, which I guess I shouldn't condone, but so not necessarily a stranger, but maybe somebody you don't usually discuss, share, whatever. So let's see what today's information is, and then we'll come back to that Wunjo and see if it has more relevance at the end of the reading. Alright. So first, let's just run through what we have on the board. We have quite a few face-up today. We have Taiwas. We have Thurasas, Dagas, and Isa. Covering Taiwas a little is Hagalas reversed, and our other reversed is Kunos. Taiwas is the self-sacrifice, the rune of expediency. What are you going to give up now so that you can get something later? What are you going to do now because you want to do it now, regardless of the outcome later? Thurasas is the rune of self-protection or healthy aggression. Thurasas is the thorn, as you can kind of see here. The thorn is what protects us. The thorn of the rose protects the beauty of the rose, ensuring that people handle said rose with care. The thorn of protection is our own self-protection. The things that we do because we feel it makes us safer. Dagas is the rune of contemplation, the rune of sitting and thinking and deciding in the black and white without emotional context what it is that's going on. Dagas is often called the doorway because once we sit and have that contemplation, we tend to make a decision and move decisively to the next step. And Isa is the stone of isolation, of hibernation, the ice cage that can be a healing protective womb or a prison, depending on, well, many factors. Hagalas reversed would be, Hagalas is transformation. So no transformation or no big horrific storms. And Kunos is possibilities. So that kind of indicates a lack of possibility. Since these are at the base of the reading, it could be something that, well, it feels like there really aren't that many choices with the Kunos being reversed. But something needs to be done, a decision needs to be made. There's nothing really mind-altering or even perhaps situation-altering about this decision, but it still needs to be made. So the choice is, do you do something now? And reward yourself now in a way, or do you wait? Do you put it off and reward yourself later? Since Taiwas is pointing up and away toward the future, I would tend to say, if given the choice, for your protection, it might be better to put off whatever it is that you're working on, which could be as simple as spending money on a latte or buying a book, or it could be something more less solid, like trying to decide whether or not to go to the movies next week. Maybe just wait a little while longer, or at this moment, the answer is no, if you'd really rather it be yes, or yes, if you'd really rather it be no. This will, in a way, help protect you. Since the protection rune is sideways, it can feel like perhaps a bit of imprisonment, constriction instead of a shield, a prison instead of a fortress. The difference is often perspective and what you're allowed to do and how much control you have over that allowance. But the thorn, again, is pointing up and out. So to me, that indicates that whatever this decision is, it will make you feel a little safer, if slightly constricted, than it would if you had chosen the other way. If we had chosen the other way. I need to work on that because this reading is for everybody, including myself. So, to reiterate, go back from the beginning. We have Kunos reversed. So not a lot of choices, not a lot of options. Hagelas reversed, which means not a big transformation. Whatever this is isn't stemming from or even going towards a need to make a big change. Taiwas is self-sacrifice or expediency. Taiwas is the warrior. So he chooses which men are going to die and which men are going to stand, and what is more important, the many or the one. So it is a very intellectual exercise, not an emotional one. Thurisaz is that self-protection, that aggression, the keeping oneself safe. So whatever this choice is, lean towards the one that's going to make you feel safer. It is indicating to me that a little self-sacrifice now, or a little, disappointment perhaps now, will lead to a feeling of safety, or a little more safety later. It may feel constrictive, but still there's kind of, okay, I can live with that, and I'm kind of glad I did it. Over here, Dagas and Isa. Dagas is that thinking, that contemplation. It is outside the general circle of the situation. So I would say it would mean look at it from an outside perspective. I would also say, considering the way Dagas is shaped, the way it's thrown, it kind of looks like an hourglass here. So there could be a time issue. It could mean that there's a limited time window, or it could mean that this sacrifice is only going to be relevant or even necessary for a specific amount of time. And then Isa over here is indicating that this is something that is a decision that you alone can make. Again, going back to, I'll put it over here and well down here. Going back to not part of the clan decision, and possibly not even relevant to them, to the family, which could be your kids, our kids, it could be our loved ones, it could be our group. So this is a decision that is effective only to you and about you, and can only be made by you or me, the individual. And I think that pretty much sums it up for the day. So we will do one more quick reiteration. We pulled, or the Wunjo reversed, fell out of the bag, saying that this really doesn't have much to do with the clan, with the groups, with our friends, with the people we usually turn to. We have Kunos reversed, we have Hagalas reversed on top of Taiwas with their Isas next to it, meaning to me that it's a feeling of not a lot of choices, and the decision isn't going to come from a big change in life, and probably won't create a big change. But a little self-sacrifice is needed at this time to provide a sense of safety, a little breathing room, a fortress. It may feel a little constrictive, but it will feel safe and kind of a deep breath before moving on. Dagas is implying that there's some intellectual work to be done, some thinking about it, some being unemotional in considering this choice, in making this choice, and possibly that it's a time-limited offer or event. So it's only going to be a little bit of sacrifice. It's not a long, stretched-out future. And Isa is the isolation stone. This is a choice and a decision and an event and a situation that is just relevant to each of us personally, and something that only we can make individually. Only we can decide. It's not something we can really turn to our clan for. Please remember that these rune readings can be small events or big events. It is not necessarily what we would consider world changing, even for our own worlds. They can be just little daily events. Honestly, like deciding whether to get out of bed 5 minutes earlier, or doing a little extra stretching before you go for a run, taking a few minutes to decide if you really have everything. The sacrifice could simply feel like an imposition, but it will help make things a little more smooth in the journey down the road, probably just 5 minutes down the road. So if you take that time, the dagas, to sorry, I'm trying to take another picture of dagas at the same time I'm talking to you. Okay. If you take that time to think about it, make sure you have everything in place. Maybe that's what it's implying. It's not saying that you need to cut off a hand to feed a neighbor, or give up a big thing. Often, and especially in these times of change and transition and chaos, and everybody running around going, oh my God, with the political and the, is it going to be the end of the world, and the elliptical, or I now forget what the astronomical phenomenon is. The little things are the important ones. The big things are going to take care of themselves, or they won't. And there's often not a lot of control that we have over that. But the little things are what we can control. So taking that extra moment to soothe a person's fears, or to consider more than one person, to decide if that's really what you want to do now. Even that extra moment can make a big change in what happens. Even if you decide yes twice, you say, yeah, I'm going to do this. Am I sure? Do I really want to consider all the facts, weigh it? Yep, yes, I am going to do it. That extra moment of weighing has already changed the timeline and made things better for you. So thank you very much for joining me on day 5, or day 1 if that's what day it is for you. I hope you have a great day.